SMTP settings are your club's mail server credentials and default parameters for sending out email confirmations and notifications. To adjust these settings on a global level, navigate to System Administration, Global Settings, and select the Email Configuration tab. Here you can specify the default settings for your mail server and default format. For the SMTP server, enter the SMTP server name or address utilized by the mail server to send email notifications. Then enter the port number used for the SMTP server. If the SMTP server requires authentication, select this field, then enter a username and password for SMTP server authentication. Then you have Enable SSL. If the email server requires a Secure Sockets Layer (SSL) form of encryption to log in, select this field. Below that is the From email. The From email address appears in the email message when sent to a member or guest, and is not necessarily the actual address the email is being sent from. However, it is useful as a member can send a reply to this address with any questions. The club can also utilize something like noreply@yourclub.com, and note that this field can be overridden in other modules. Lastly is the email format, where you can choose between the options of PDF, HTML, or text format. Then you'll want to use the Send a Test email button to ensure the email settings are correct. Here you can enter a valid email address and click OK. If the email was sent successfully, a message will pop up indicating so. If an error occurs, consult with your IT department to ensure you have the proper settings. Then make sure to click Save to save your changes. The SMTP settings can be overridden in modules that utilize the global email settings, such as the booking and reservation modules. To override these settings, navigate to the module, Module Settings, and select the Email Settings tab. Any adjustments made here will override the global settings so that emails for this module will follow these settings instead. You can go ahead and select Override Global Settings, SMTP Settings, to configure the settings as applicable to this module. Otherwise, leave this field unchecked to use the global settings. You can also specify the email settings, which will include the From email address, sender's name, CC and BCC email addresses, and the email format. In some of the modules, you can also specify the subject line of the email and choose if you do not want to override the sender's email with the user email if present. If any adjustments are made, it is recommended to send a test email. Then you can finish off by clicking that Save button.